Alright, so I'm going to talk about the insoles that I promised that I would make a video about at some point. So these ones are the merino wool insoles, which I think have been discontinued. I don't think they make them anymore. And then these ones are my sheepskin insoles. They normally come in a package wrapped in paper and a sticker. And that is normally how the shoes arrive as well. Just a little bit of stuffed sheepskin there. These are 7 wide, just as those are. A little worn, so they're a little scruffy, but oops. And then these are, I just got them in the mail this past week. These are the Suede or Swede, I don't know how you pronounce them, insoles. They're also 7 wide. So I'm just going to gently push them out like this so I don't mess up the wrapping if I need to put them back in. And here they are. These are 7 wide as well, but seem quite a bit narrow. Alright, so I'm just gonna go by feel right now because I just opened these. I have not worn them yet. I cannot tell you what they actually feel like when I wear them. But these are what they look like. It's extremely soft. You can see when I rub it in one direction, the color changes a little bit. Just a little bit. They seem to be really flexible. And they seem kind of tiny. Are they actually tiny? Let me compare it. Oh, they are in fact a little bit tiny. But they're quite flexible. This is probably the most flexible insole that I've gotten. It looks like the stitching looks really good. It does say Softstar on here. And I think this is foam. It's quite squishy. You can see a dent when I put my finger into the sole. It's quite squishy indeed. And of course, you can see from this flexibility right here. Now onto the merino wool insoles. These are less flexible, but still plenty flexible in my opinion. And also quite squishy. I think it's the same kind of foam that they use in this and the Suede. But of course the merino wool is a little bit, I think, thicker in comparison. This one only has a very thin layer. Just that one teeny layer. And the rest is foam. They might be more visible in here. And this one has a little bit more wool on it. You can see it's a half and half almost. This is not a half and half. This is like 1/4 to 3/4, I think. Which makes sense why it's less flexible because it's merino wool. And then finally, there's the sheepskin insoles, which is also slightly flexible, maybe the least flexible of the lot. I cannot quantify how thick the sheepskin layer is, but it's quite a bit, I think. And there's a backing. I don't know what this backing is. Perhaps some kind of foam as well, but this is a harder layer. It's not squishy at all. And I think there's just a little layer of leather underneath where the sheepskin is attached to. And these are all supposedly 7 wide. Slight differences in cut. This is perhaps the most narrow of the cuts. But I think it might be a good thing because I wrote to them about the merino wool, because that's the I got the sheepskins first. I didn't like the texture of this against my feet. It was too cushy, it was pushing my feet up, and it was for a pair of Sawyers that were 7 wide, which is why these are all 7 wide, even though my regular size is 7U. I didn't know at the time. I got them on clearance, and I really like the shoes. I'll show it to you sometime. And I got these insoles to try and help make them a better fit, and it was not. I think I didn't like the texture of this, as I said before, and also I think it was too much height difference for this compared to this. I like these a lot. I like how they fit in my shoe. I have a sense that I probably would like this more than these ones. However, I just wrote to them maybe several weeks ago to ask about an issue that I was facing with these insoles. If you notice, this insole has a curve at the end, and this insole does not. Now these are worn. These are worn. I take pretty good care of my shoes and insoles and whatnot, but these are worn insoles. And the comparison, if you can see, is that there is very much a raised heel right there. If I put them side by side, I think you can still see how the right insole is slightly more curved right here in comparison to the left insole. Oh, perhaps I should do this instead. And so when I wrote to them, I said, I think the length of this shoe or this insole is a little longer than it should be, which is why it's curving in. Because I put both of them in all the way through the shoe, it should fit. And this obviously fits just fine. And this one does not, which is why it has a little bend in it. And now it also has a little bit of a tear right here, just a little bit, some tearing right here. And I think it's because it's been bent this much from the shoe. So I told them, I said, either your shoes are not in the right measurements or your insoles are not in the right measurements. And I showed it to them. I said, look at the length of this insole. They're kind of difficult to put just right, but maybe I would be able to show it to you. That there is just a little bit of length on the right insole. That's a little bit more than the left insole. Just a little bit, and that's probably what is causing it to bend a little bit more. And you can see that gap right here too, where it bends up a little instead of having it flat. So then it just stays flat like that. So they said you can return them because it looks like it was defective, which makes me a little sad. I was hoping that those would work well for my stars. I don't think they will feel the same way. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but these are the comparisons of what the insoles look like. It would be nicer, I guess, with the smaller measurement, because then for sure it will fit in my shoe without the extra length, and it'll be fine. Yeah, it definitely seems like it will be fine in my shoe already, based on this comparison right here. But in terms of fit, especially because the Sawyers are higher volume, I don't know if that will be sufficient, because these feel thinner and less rigid than these do. But there you have it. These are the different insoles that Softstar sells. Until next time.